Alright guys, welcome back to another video with the Ruger Precision Rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. This time I'm going to be doing a little bit of load workup. I've got a couple powders that are not typically associated with the 6.5 Creedmoor. It's going to be Reloader 26 and some Hodgdon Superformance. Now usually most people work up loads with the Hodgdon 4350, which is a great temperature stable powder, but it's kind of hard to get right now. So I decided why not at least experiment with a couple different powders. I do have a couple different bullets to try. I was able to find some of the Hodgdon 140 grain ELD-M bullets. It's a good match bullet with a high BC. And then I'm also going to try out some of the Nosler RDF 140 grain. With these two, I loaded up a series of 5-round test groups using both of these powders and tried to take my time making sure that the barrel did not get hot between groups. But it was a colder day. I shot these in January, so the temperature was between about 58 and 60 degrees throughout the day, which was not bad temperature for Colorado in January. So you may ask why these two powders. I definitely like to have options other than the typical Hodgdon 4350, as that powder is very difficult to find right now. I have found some of it, so I will do some other load workup using that powder, but it's always nice to have some other options. I like to use Reloader 17 for my 260. It gives me really good velocities, and it's generally pretty easy to find at the local stores, but the disadvantage of it is that I think it's a little more temperature unstable, meaning I get more velocity swings from the low temperature to the high temperature shooting environments. Now I do have a load that is safe to shoot when it's hotter out, but it gives me more velocity swing, which makes point of impact shooting at longer range targets. So I can definitely see why the Reloader 26 and Superformance are not quite as popular as Hodgdon 4350. I did get velocities that were okay, nothing really exciting, but I was noticing that my standard deviations were pretty high. Now I'm going to share with you a couple of loads that warrant a little further experimentation, but just remember these are loads that worked up in my rifle. Make sure that you work up loads yourself. Don't just trust loads that you see on the internet. So one of the first that bears a little additional work is 140 ELD with Superformance. At a charge of 46 grains, it gave me a velocity of 2830 with a standard deviation of 8.2, which for that, most of those other Superformance loads, as I was working them up, were 13 to 18 for SD or higher. Now with Reloader 26, 48 grains behind a Nosler 140 gave me 2,772 feet per second and a standard deviation of 10.4 with a 1.1 inch group. And then with the Reloader 26 behind a Hornady ELD with 47 grains, that gave me a velocity of 2,748. I'm sorry, that's not the group. 48 grains gave me a velocity of 2,768 with a standard deviation of 6.6 and a group of 0.9 inches. Now some of those group sizes I think could be improved just a little bit by checking seating depth and playing with that a little bit. These loads were all loaded out to 2.825 inches, and that was to make sure that they would fit in the magazine length of the Magbull 308P mags that come with it. I could load a little bit longer out if I'm going to just load to the length of the AICS magazines, so that's one of the things that I will play with. Hopefully that gives you guys an idea of using Reloader 26 or Superformance as an option. May not be quite as popular or quite as good as the Hodgdon 4350 that everybody uses, but it's definitely an option. I think it would give you decent accuracy for hunting, especially with a little more experimentation. So give those a try if you're interested. Otherwise, stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for watching.